So this channel is going to be a little bit different than my other channel, Nerdsfeed. There I try and force myself to come off as enthusiastic to varying degrees. Here though, I don't want to do that, so I may come off more monotone some days, just depending on how I feel. I also will try and limit what I talk about in regards to nerd culture. I already have a channel dedicated to it, and feel like it would be a conflict of interest to do the same over here. That being said, anime, video games, cartoons, movies, shows, cartoons are all a big part of my life, so there will be many references and moments where the two channels do have some similarities, besides me being the main host, of course. I have thought about making this channel for a long time, one where I talk about things that matter to me or experiences I feel like may be beneficial for someone else, and just try to keep things as real as possible. Raise Zero, the scene where Subaru is finally real with Rem, inspired the idea and has been stuck in my mind, pushing me to do it.
I've never done a single thing worth mentioning! I had all that time and freedom, but I just squandered it away on nothing. I could have done anything with my life, but I never did a damn thing. And what you're looking at now is the result. This cowardly, weak, worthless crybaby! Wanting to accomplish something important when I've never done anything to earn it goes way beyond the limitations of arrogance. I wasn't trying to get stronger or trying to make things better. That was a lie. I was just striking an obvious pose to justify myself, to say that I was trying my best, that it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything, to be able to appear to be doing everything I could. I wanted to say I couldn't help it, to be told that it couldn't be helped. I was only pretending to push my body to the limit so that all of those excuses would be possible. Deep down inside, at the core of my heart, I'm just a small, cowardly, filthy piece of trash who's always worried about how others see me, how they'll accept or judge me, and nothing about me has changed! I absolutely hate myself.
So here we are. Welcome to TrevTalks. Hopefully you find that as clever as I did up until it came out of my mouth. Going to try and keep this short and concise since it's a channel trailer or whatever, but the content that will be discussed here is fairly broad. You can look forward to videos of me just talking about my life, mental health, possible political opinions, etc. as I give my thoughts on things that are happening in the world. Whether it's going over news articles with varying importance or just going off the cuff on whatever I feel is important, I have a lot of ideas and just need time to implement them. That being said, no matter how much you disagree with me, I'm going to try to be respectful in response, engage in dialogue, and hopefully find some middle ground in the process. Please though, comment respectfully so I don't have the urge to roast you. That sounds like a joke, but it's a habit of mine that you can see over on my now infamous Earthspark video that I made over a year ago. I didn't handle it as well as I could have, but have learned from it, and am hopefully going to prove that here. I'm not perfect though, nor am I always right, so everything I say here can be picked apart to your heart's content. I'm not here to convince you, but to share my side, and who knows, when it's all said and done, you may be able to convince me of yours instead. It's worth a shot nonetheless. I'll share the facts of the matter, my beliefs, and why I believe them. I want to make a difference, not just regurgitate what others say, but come to my own consensus on things whatever they may be. So if you're open to learning new things, willing to be more open-minded and hear things that you may not always agree with, join me and let's get to the root of what's wrong with things, and more importantly, how we can fix them. The layout of my videos will be similar to the one that you're watching right now. Articles, theories, facts, and whatever else I may be discussing will be shown on screen whenever it's relevant. The main crutch of the video will probably be gameplay, however. It's what I'm most comfortable with, and given I don't have a webcam, it's also the only decent route to take quality-wise. I'm broke, I gotta do what I gotta do. What games I play will be entirely up to me, but any input from you guys will be taken into consideration, since you're the poor people that have to watch it at the end of the day. I'll try and say most things though to the point that you can have the video on in the background and not miss anything every time that you look away. Some factoids about me: I'm a Christian, I'm 21, my favorite anime is either Monster or Raise Zero, two very different anime, don't worry, I know. My favorite lesson I ever learned from anime is to give up on my dreams and die. What I've learned from shows in general is that the executives may give up on them and then they will die, and what I learned from movies is that I prefer ones where somebody dies. Still with me? I love psychology as well as theology, so they may be big topics that come up in future videos if I ever decide to go that route. I'm very analytical, breaking things down to an extreme point that you'll either love or you'll hate, but I guess you'll see. My faith will most likely be brought up, compared, contrasted, and integral to some of my future content. If you want to skip those faith-based videos, I totally understand, but being open to understanding them, even even if you disagree, does show a lot about your character at the end of the day. If you really want to make change, convince others of your opinion, I've learned that it's best to understand both sides. I have autism, but it doesn't define who I am, just lends itself to explaining some thought process, mannerisms, and how I will interact with you guys. Be patient with me. I both love and hate the human race, and some days I might just not want to associate with more breathing beings than I have to. I play PC and PS5, may live stream that sometimes, or might not, who knows, but I'd love to play games with some of you if the opportunity ever presents itself. Used to chase trophies, but not so much anymore. Takes up a lot of time, and it really affected my enjoyment of some games. I have no idea how the thumbnails will work yet, never thought that far into it, but will hopefully figure something out for branding purposes. I make all my thumbnails on Nerdsfeed look practically the same because I suck at making them, so wish me luck there, I guess. That's about all I have to say, honestly. Feels like I covered everything I can think of, and if I didn't think of it, then it must not have been too important. You'll find out more about me as I start actually making content here, so at least that gives you a reason to come back. If you want to have a decent idea, you can head over to Nerdsfeed. I try to be as honest as physically possible over there, even though my opinions are not always popular. So if you want to see more about me, more about what I like, what I dislike, in regards to nerd culture, I've got a whole nother channel dedicated to that. In fact, I should probably talk about it a little bit. I talk about movies, try to review them, I analyze them, break them down scene by scene. Same with anime, shows, video games, whatever I freaking feel like doing. If it's related to nerd culture in any regard, then screw it, it's fair game. I'm a big fan of Transformers. I really have tried to cover it over there, but Hasbro and copyright does not go well together whatsoever. But my analytical breakdowns on Transformers, which is what I usually do, or Naruto, which I started covering recently, will give you a good idea of how things will be formatted here. It's not going to be the same exact way as an episode breakdown or Did It Start Well. Obviously, it doesn't really work that way, but I will try to be as in-depth as possible, get to the facts of the matter, and try to separate my feelings with logic. I can't always do that though, as you know if you watched my Earthspark video. Sometimes I get emotional, and I'm gonna share that too. I want to build a channel where I can be brutally honest, where I can share my opinions whether they're politically correct or not, whether you agree with them or not, and we can actually discuss it, where we can engage in discourse that isn't hateful, that actually tries to get to a middle ground to find merit within things, and isn't just one side bashing another over and over and over again without ever trying to truly understand it, because I'm honestly just tired of seeing that myself. The more I get online, the more I see one really far right YouTuber or one really far left YouTuber, and all they do is throw pot shots at each other repeatedly, and nobody really keeps their side in check, which I'm not planning on engaging in a lot of drama, but I do want to call out things whenever I feel like it could be harmful or detrimental to the stance that a person is trying to make given what they say. Again, something I have experience with doing myself. And now I'm rambling, I'm going on a tangent. I probably should have wrote a script for this, but lesson learned, I guess. I'm serious now when I say I have nothing else to talk about, so I think I'm gonna call it here. Stick around if you want, don't stick around if you don't want to. I don't know how to end this, I don't have anything as clever as I do at Nerdsfeed, so yeah, thank you, have a great day, see you later.